What's going on, everybody? It's Ballard here, Christian Ballard, sports journalist with Ballard Sports Media. Do us a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. We are working to 1,400 subs is our next milestone. But let's make it even bigger and get to 2,000 if we can. I have a lot of faith that we can do that. So, official and final 2025 NFL round one mock draft from yours truly, Ballard Sports Media. So I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. I guess I can share screen, not both at once, I don't think, but we're going to use the simulator and we're going to try. I have at least one, maybe two first round trades. I think I only did one. I got the Bucks trading 19 to the Texans to get 25th overall, and obviously some picks. I don't really see players being traded in there. The only reason I have just the Bucks is not because it's necessarily my team. I mean that's part of it, but um, I could see a scenario where they trade back. They've always been known to be really risky in the draft. They've never been afraid to take some chances, and we'll kind of talk with someone next week about the Bucks and their draft strategies. Maybe he could correct me on this. But they are prone to trade either up or down, but especially in recent years, Jason Light, the GM and head coach, even with Arians, and now Todd Bowles have been known to trade. So I think we're going to try to pull this off if we can. We'll try to trade back with the Texans at 25 and see kind of how it works out here. But I think that's what I want to do for my mock draft at the moment. Maybe I'm an idiot for having the Bucks trade back. But it's kind of weird because you never know who wants to trade. You know who usually trades, but it's not an every year thing, and it's very possible that I'm proven wrong at 19 with what the Bucks want to do. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. But other than that, let's do the simulator, and then ultimately I will share screen my Word document where I keep all my picks. So let's do that and we'll get it going. Okay, so we're going to do the first round here, all teams. And the draft speed doesn't matter because we're picking for everybody. But this is it. This is our official mock draft for round one here at Ballard Sports Media. It's possible between this video and the draft, I might make some changes. If so, I'll probably tweet about it. I won't necessarily make one big video like, oh, I made this trade, or no, this player's going here now, or something like that. I'm not going to do that, but we'll get it going here. Enter solo draft, and up on the clock is the Tennessee Titans. Now, I've kind of gone back and forth with this personally. There's a lot of different ways they could go. They don't have to get a quarterback. They do need one in this draft. A lot of people would probably have them taking Shador Sanders or Travis Hunter or Cam Ward, one of those three guys. Personally, I like the idea of Shador Sanders, but I think there's a possibility that he's probably a better fit for the Giants. Now, it could be Shador at number one, but it also could be possibly a Cam Ward. And honestly, that's what I have right now is Cam Ward going to the Titans from Miami. Uh, so with the first pick in the BSM mock draft, the Tennessee Titans are on the clock at number one and they will select Cameron Ward. Up next is the Browns. And again, I really don't see much trades in here. Like I said, I really just have the Bucks trading back with the Texans to get a couple picks later on. This could go either way for the Browns too. I don't really think I mean, I guess they need a quarterback, but I don't think they're that desperate for a quarterback that they would take it at number two. There's a couple different ways they could go here. And these team needs on this site keep changing on me, but I'm sticking to what I got. And right now, I have them taking Travis Hunter. I think he could help their secondary out quite a bit, even if they've already at this point kind of signed or released a guy or two or whatever. I'm not buying into these team needs here. Interesting pick coming up with the Giants at number 3. I think they desperately need a quarterback, and with Cam Ward off the board, it's either going to be Cam Ward or Shador Sanders. But because Cam Ward is off the board, I could see a scenario. Now, let me ask y'all this. Let me know in the comments. Can the Giants trade back, stay in the top 10, and still end up with Shador Sanders? Or are there any teams right here? Like, okay, any teams right here or any out there that they trade with, uh, I think you got to hope that the Saints don't get a hold of them. Other than that, maybe the Raiders too. Maybe you got to be careful with the Raiders. I'm honestly not sure. But right now, forget these player rankings. I could see the Giants sitting at 3, drooling over Shador Sanders. Put him in New York. Let's go. Okay, go back to all players. And who do I have here? The Patriots on the clock at number 4. And this is interesting to me. They could go many different ways here. I don't think they need a quarterback because of Drake May. Um, but I feel like Gerard Mayo. Um, is that it? Hold on. Let me correct myself. I want to make sure I'm caught up. It's not Gerard Mayo, is it? Hold on. So now we're sitting here at number 4 with the Patriots. Mike Vrabel comes in, former Patriot himself, legendary player in the NFL. I would say, at least. I thought he was really great. Um, kind of a defensive guy. The Patriots are a defensive franchise. They do need help. They need offensive tackle. They need weapons. They need so much right here. And there's a lot of different ways that they could go. And honestly, I could see a scenario where they go defense. And I think I'm looking at this board here, and it doesn't line up with what I have, but I gotta trade. Not trade, but like kind of swap around what they do here. I'm gonna catch some heat for some of these picks, but I could see them going defense and going pass rush here. They need an edge. Abdul Carter's still on the board. Why not put him there? I did have him going to the Raiders, but seeing him ranked number 1 overall and seeing that he's still on the board here at 4, I don't really think I had Mason Graham of Michigan, who's really good, by the way. I had him going to the Patriots, but seeing that it says they need an edge and not so much a defensive tackle, I think I'm going to swap that around. I'm going to give them Abdul Carter right now. That's what I'm going to settle on. I hope I'm right. Let's go Abdul Carter to the Pats. Number 5, the Jaguars. They need some weapons. They need some defense. They need to help out Trevor Lawrence with the O line. A lot of different ways they could go here. I'm not swapping around any other picks on my mock draft. I just wanted to do that because I could see a scenario for the Patriots. Uh, Mason Graham is on the board. Will Campbell. But I'm gonna be bold here and say they take a wide receiver to give extra weapon to Trevor Lawrence. I'm gonna give them to Terrell McMillan from Arizona. I can see the comments right now. They're not good, man. They are not good at all. Oh my gosh. Who do I have the Raiders taking here? Raiders on the clock. This is where Mason Graham comes in. They do need a defensive tackle. They need to beef up their defense a little bit. They still got some Clemson guys out there. They're still good. A lot of different ways they could go. They could go Will Johnson of Michigan. They do need a corner. They could take Ashton Genty at running back, which wouldn't surprise me. But I could see where the Raiders probably take a generational type of guy, which I consider generational in Mason Graham. He's really good. He's 6'3", 296. Interior disruptor with outstanding first step quickness, good overall athleticism. He lacks prototypical length for the position, but makes up for it with quickness, power, and instincts. Explosive first step quickness to immediately get upfield and stress the edges of interior offensive linemen. He is able to win the edge off the snap and shows very good ankle flexion, whatever that is, to corner at the top of his rush and get home to the quarterback. I like that. I like that. And I think it could be good for the Raiders. Let's take a bold move here. I'm all about risk and reward on these picks. I like Mason Graham here. Okay, this gets interesting now. Who do I have the Jets taking here? They need offensive tackle big time. Will Campbell is on the board from LSU. He's the best one in this class at that position. You could also go Armand Membo. Either one of those works. I like Will Campbell, though. Very strong, very lengthy, can push guys outside, can block the blind side for a quarterback. And I think that's very important here for the Jets. Up next, the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. NFC South, Bryce Young at quarterback. They kind of need some protection for him a little bit. They could go many different ways here. Um, again, I think what I'll do, I'm going to kind of pick off this a little bit and then kind of, I'll do the mock draft on here. I'll go back and I'll fix what I have in my Word document. Even though it is all kind of complete right now, I think there's some picks that I kind of would scratch my head at and be like, am I really sure about that? So let's kind of scratch what I have in the Word document for now. I'll go back to this video and kind of change it. At number 8, I could see where they go offensive tackle, they go corner, whatever. They desperately need some secondary help. Will Johnson's on the board here. You also could use an offensive guard, which I guess you could use Armand Menbo from Missouri to do that. But I don't know. My mock draft is so busted right now, man. At least in terms of these players. Maybe are you guys currently saying stuff to me? I'm gonna premiere this, but like, what would y'all say? Like, does it matter? What my not my mock draft, but like, does the player rankings actually matter on online sources like this? Let's go with who I got them taking. I got them taking Tyler Booker, who's number 23 overall, an offensive guard from Alabama, but he's good. He's big. He's built. I don't know how he did at the combine or pro day or anything. He's 6'4", 321, sturdy anchor at guard, dish out punishment as well as he can absorb it. Tyler Booker is your guy with low center of gravity and a thick, well proportioned frame. Booker is very tough to move at the point of attack. Blah, blah, blah. He did lose some weight before the 2024 season. Um, he looks a little quicker because of that, and I'm sure he's still working out. I think by the time the season rolls around, why not? Because you got to think how guys are now when they get drafted compared to when the season kicks off. That's a big difference. You're looking at 4 months down the road in preseason. You'll have off-season training camps and stuff. I'll stick to what I got here. I'll give him Tyler Booker from Alabama, but I don't think that's what they'll do necessarily. Up next, we have the Saints, who could go a couple different ways here. I I like this. Best available player. They're not in desperate need of this, but I think it's a steal. I'm gonna give them Ashton Genty, Jenningsworth. Shout out to Uncle Lou there. Alvin Jenningsworth the third, or what did he call him? He called him a couple different things. Ashton Genty, though, from Boise State, the running back. Give them in the top 10 to the Saints. Okay, the Bears are on the clock now for their pick at number 10 to round out the top 10. Right now, I would have them in my mock draft going Kelvin Banks from Texas, they desperately need an offensive tackle, but with Armand Membo on the board, I could see a scenario where they could take him if he's still available, but we'll see. If not him, they desperately need some protection for Caleb Williams, and I would be right on Kelvin Banks possibly. Um, give me Armand Membo right now because I think that could work out for the Bears in the long run. They also need a running back. They need safety. They need edge. They need linebacker. Jalen Walker right there. Uh, they could go that direction too, but I really think that they address the offensive line in round one. Kelvin Banks is Kelvin Banks a good enough prospect to take in the top 10 here at number 10 for the Bears? Do you think? What do they say? What's his build? 6'5", 315. Physical attributes needed to be a high level starting offensive lineman, blah, blah, blah. Um, yeah, I'm going to go Membo. I'm going to go Membo. Number 11 is the 49ers pick, and I have them taking Jahad Campbell from Alabama at linebacker. They could go many different ways here. I feel like, though, at the moment, that's a bit too high. It's possible Jahad Campbell is a steal at linebacker. They need it. They do need it. They need corner and they need linebacker. But with Jalen Walker still on the board here, it is very possible that they take him instead over over Jahad Campbell. In fact, I didn't really think much to put Jalen Walker on the board because I forgot he was getting drafted. I forgot he was draft eligible. In fact, I'm going to change this. Jahad Campbell will go later. I could see Jalen Walker now that I remember, because you got to understand how I think. Um, I I don't have a whole list of like all the prospects when I make my mock draft, but with Jalen Walker here at number 11, I could see the 49ers getting him. They could go Jahad Campbell too. I think either pick is good. They do need some linebacker help a little bit. They do need a defensive tackle. They need an edge. They need a lot on defense. And these rankings keep changing day in and day out. But I'm gonna give them Jalen Walker for now. So, and again, what I'm gonna do for you guys is how I have it set up right here is how I'm gonna fix my overall Word document that I have for the draft. So I think what I do here, I'll fix for that. I do want to try and maybe do a trade or two. I don't think that. Mm, I don't think it's the Cowboys though, and they're up next. But I could go ahead and propose a trade back. I could see the Bucks trading back in the draft. I'm going to go ahead and do that. They're calling up, "Hey, let's do it. Let's run this." And I'm going to say they trade back to 25 with where are they? The Houston Texans. Can we get that going? And they ain't asking for much. They got their picks later on. They got their picks. I think Jason Light is that kind of GM for the Bucks that's like, I just want to like take some chances. I need more time to think. I'm not trying to get nothing from you other than I just want to trade back. I want to help you out. I want to think about my pick. Give me some more time. Let's trade up or trade back. They're going to do it with the Texans. Bold claim here. You can call me high, drunk, whatever, but that's what I got. Let's do that. Okay, so we'll get to that pick later on. Now with the Cowboys, what they could do here. So I have them. They do need a running back. And with Ashton Genty off the board, do you go ahead and give them someone else that could be out there, or like what do you do? Uh Again, some of this could change. How do I feel about this pick right now? They also need a corner, and Will Johnson's on the board still. I could give them that. They don't desperately need a running back in round one. They could easily pick one up on day two because some of these guys might be hard to pick up. Like, there's too many good players ahead of Amari and Hampton at a different position, or Travion Henderson, or Caleb Johnson, right? You can pick those up day two. But Will Johnson's still on the board. They do need some secondary help. Never hurts to add depth if you're the Cowboys. Give me Will Johnson. His slide ends. Okay. Now for Tyler Warren. Or, well, let me say, not taking Tyler Warren here, but he's the next best thing, right? Okay. The Dolphins are on the clock. They need to protect their quarterback big time. And I I guess I could see where they take an offensive tackle here. I don't know. It's more so the guard position that they need more than anything. Gray Zabel is there. Did I take that Michigan or not Michigan, but Minnesota guy? I haven't. I've heard good things about Ariante Ursary. Arisi. I don't know how you say it. But seeing this, Kelvin Banks from Texas, let's give him Kelvin Banks, man. SEC stand up. I could see this. I got a lot to fix on my mock draft for real. But um yeah. I think at this moment, again, what I'm doing on this simulator, I'm gonna fix later on in my Word document and I'll share it on Twitter or something. Mm, give me Kelvin Banks. Yeah. Kelvin Banks at 13. Now, this is where the slide for Tyler Warren ends. The Colts desperately need a tight end. I think it's obvious. Blocking tight end, fast, physical tight end, can catch any ball you throw his way. That's where you could also go Colson Loveland, but why would you skip on Tyler Warren? Why would you do that? I'm looking at you. Yeah, why would you do that, Colts? You'd be stupid. If Tyler Warren is sitting at 14 for the Colts, like you might as well just cash in. That's what I say. Give me Tyler Warren. Right here. Yeah. So we did take Tyler Warren. The Falcons are on the clock, could go different ways here. This is kind of where I have Will Johnson falling, but again, he could go higher. They do need a corner desperately for some secondary help. They also need a safety. Could they go Malachi Starks here? I could see that. They do need safety. They need everything on defense. They don't really need much offense. At least what's listed. Shamar Stewart's really good. He's sliding a bit. Mike Green from Marshall to get pass rush. What's great about the Falcons picking here at 15 is they need defense. And right now we have all these different guys. Well, Jalen Walker's gone, but Shamar Stewart, Mike Green, Michael Williams. You could go edge here. You could go corner with Jade Barron from Texas. You could go Jahad Campbell. You could go many different ways here. I Again, what I do here, I'm fixing in the Word document. I'm gonna give them. Mm, I like this Mike Green prospect. I think I could see him going to the Falcons here at 15. That's a That's a heck of a player too. That really is. So I could see that. I really could. Up next for our mock draft, Cardinals on the clock. They need edge, defensive tackle, wide receiver, and linebacker. I'm gonna give them. Uh, I'm gonna give them Shamar Stewart. His slide ends here. Back-to-back edge picks in the NFC. Now the Bengals. This gets interesting. Do you protect Joe Burrow? Do you build your defense up a little bit? I've been high on Malachi Starks going to the Bengals at 17. He keeps dropping slowly in his rank, but I don't see why you don't take some secondary help if you're the Bengals just to add some depth. Malachi Starks seems like a good pick. Now for the Seahawks here at 18, they need offensive guard, offensive tackle, wide receiver, cornerback. They need a lot here. They really do. And with that being said, give me any offensive. Well, maybe Josh Simmons. Mm, I think they're going to have to think about this. I don't know if they're going to be set on their guy. Let's trade back here. Let's trade back the. Where are they? Pick a team and propose a trade. Where are the Seahawks? Oh, here they are. Let's trade back. We'll trade to 21 with the Steelers. Oh, yes. Yes, we will. This will be good. Trade has been rejected. What else could we offer them? I know exactly what I want to do here. Well, no, I don't. I don't know if I think the Steelers might be set on 21. They might. I don't know. We'll just pick. We'll just pick for the Seahawks. This is a dark day. I guess we'll give them an edge. We'll give them Michael Williams to Georgia. I don't know if that's what they'll do though, but maybe they do. They could trade. Now we've traded the Bucks and the Texans. Now the Texans are up here picking at 19. They do need a wide receiver. Matthew Golden's still on the board from Texas. Any offensive lineman? Josh Simmons of Ohio State. I could see that. I gave him Donovan Jackson uh from Ohio State, an offensive guard. But I don't that might be a bit too high. So again, my idiocy is showing here. What else do they need? They do need a wide receiver. They need a guard. They need a center. They need a tackle. They need everything offense. They also need a defensive tackle. I'm a, mm, no centers to take. Guard Gray Zabel. Offensive tackle Josh Simmons. Let's go defense. Any linebacker? Not yet. Jahad Campbell's fallen, man. Mm, Derek Harmon of Oregon's the best, probably one of the best picks here. 6'4", 313, big dude. He's fast. He can. He's just so good, man. He hits too hard. I, I'll give him Derek Harmon of Oregon, 300-plus-pound defensive tackle. Okay, this gets interesting here. I think this fell perfectly because they need weapons for Bo Nix. Matthew Golden's on the board. Colston Loveland. You could take a tight end, but I think Matthew Golden's a stud wide receiver. He's fast. He could go up. He could catch it. He was the best outside of Isaiah Bond. Heck, he might be even better than Isaiah Bond. According to this, he is because we haven't taken Isaiah Bond yet. But I could see a scenario at 20 where the Broncos looking at Bo Nix and saying, "We can help you, my guy. We can help you." They could go running back. They could go wide receiver. They also do need to build a little bit at the pass rush and linebacker position, especially inside linebacker. Give me Matthew Golden. Let's do it. Okay. The Steelers also pick in the second round. They don't pick until like 52. And I have them technically taking a quarterback then. But could they take a wide receiver here? It is kind of a need. They also need a defensive tackle. Um, I could go corner. I could go running back. They really need much at running back. They still got Najee, right? I think they do. Give me who's that quarterback? Who's next? Jackson Dart or Jalen Milrow? Those are round two guys. You don't take them in round one. Corner, I could go Jade Barron. Help the secondary out. Okay. Now it gets interesting. Now this is where Walter Nolan comes in. This is like rinse and repeat. We're gonna steal him, right? You know, this is where the Chargers could get their money off Walter Nolan here. This is good. I like this. Walter Nolan, highly recruited, was at Texas A&M. He gets in the portal. Ole Miss picks him up. He does good. He helps be a really big anchor for that defensive front for Ole Miss, which never really been high on, but um, I think he's good. Former 5 star, really, really good. Pass rush, blocker, everything like that. He's 6'3", 296. I like him for the Chargers here. Now, what you have is the Packers here at 23. They need edge. They need desperate pass rush. They also need corner, wide receiver, defensive tackle, and linebacker. I don't. Oh, yeah. Hold up. Could they get a weapon? Do they desperately need a wide receiver? They desperately need pass rush. Nick Scorton's still here at 28 or 28 overall ranking. They could take him a little high, I think. I like Nick Scorton. I've seen some of his film and highlights. He's very fast and dominant. He loves to jump around on the field a little bit, get after the quarterback, heat seeking missile type of guy, like I like to put it. Nick Scorton is just that next level dude at Texas A&M, and I think he's ready for the NFL. I'm going to give him here to the Packers. Okay, the the Vikings on the clock at 24. Um, Nick Emanuori from South Carolina, really good. 4.38 40-yard dash and a 43-inch vertical jump. The greatest testing performance by a safety ever in Indianapolis. Ever. That sounds like generational to me, man. I could go here at 24 and take Nick Emanuori. Now my Tampa Bay Bucks on the clock here. They need linebacker, corner, safety, edge. A couple different ways to go here. Jahad Campbell sliding a little bit, but it fits perfectly. They do need some pass rush, interior linebacker, everything like that. Jahad Campbell's more on the outside. I like him here for the Bucks at number 25 here in a trade. Linebacker, also a need for the Rams. They also need a tight end. Colston Loveland's here. They don't need offensive tackle for Josh Simmons. They could use a running back later on. They could use edge and James Pierce. Mm, let's go Colston Loveland. Let's give him a weapon on offense. Offensive guard is a huge need, and Gray Zable's here at 27 overall. I think that fits up perfectly. Again, what I'm doing here, I'm going to change it up in my Word document. This is my official mock draft right here, folks, with a trade or two. So I'm going to say Gray Zabel. Edge is a need. Guard is a need. Corner, safety, and wide receiver. Lions, what do you do? You don't really need a tackle, you need a guard. So Josh Simmons is out probably. I could give him a Mecca Ibuka, or I could fill the big need of edge at James Pierce in Tennessee. I'm gonna do that. Edge is a need, big need for Washington. Unfortunately, there's not really an edge that we could take right here. They do need a wide receiver to help out Jaden Daniels with an extra weapon or two. They need a safety and a linebacker as well. Emeka Ibuka slides right into 29. Is this what you want? Yes, Emeka Ibuka. Corner, defensive tackle, linebacker, edge, and wide receiver. Nothing of need in these picks. They do need edge. I think some guys are going to slide out of the first round. I think that happens all the time. But with the Bills here, they do need a wide receiver, and Luther Burden's still on the board. Again, they update these rankings like every day, but Luther Burden's been sitting around the top 20. Why he's at 33 right now, I'm not sure, but he's been around the top 20, top 25. I think he's a steal, and I think he's really, really good. We'll go back to back wide receivers and give Luther Burden to the Bills. Defensive tackle is a need. Tyleik Williams is there. Offensive tackle is a need too. With that being said, I think you kind of fill that position a little bit. I have seen decline in the Chiefs' offensive line with protection for Mahomes. You saw it get exposed a little bit in the Super Bowl. I'm going to give him Josh Simmons. And then finally, for the Eagles, they don't need Jackson Dart. They're fine with Jalen Hurts. They don't need a run back because of Saquon. They do need some defensive help a little bit. They could go corner, they could go edge, they could go defensive tackle, offensive tackle if they wanted to, even though I think they have one of the better O lines in the country. I'm going to give them Tyleik Williams of Ohio State here to round out the first round of the NFL mock draft for Ballard Sports Media. This is final. And again, this is what I'm going to change my Word document to. This is what I'm picking here is what I want to be set on. So, anyway, with that being said, I'm going to give them Tyleik Williams of Ohio State, and we'll finish it up there. So, full results from Cam Ward to Tyleik Williams. Let me know of all of this what you like and what you don't like. Did I make the right moves in, as far as trades? Did I pick the right position, but maybe the wrong player for some teams? The quarterbacks, which by the way, we only took two quarterbacks in the first round, Cam Ward and Shador Sanders. Uh, I don't know if that's accurate. I mean, I guess it is because next up would be Jackson Dart, Jalen Milrow, and I see them as round two. Could anyone steal them? That's possible late first round if there's trades. But like your Bills, your Washingtons, they got their guy. Chiefs and Eagles, they got their guy. So anyway, this is our mock draft. I love it. I hope you guys love it too. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I know I went long over 30 minutes, almost 40. So we'll get out of here. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Keep your head up. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. God bless, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.